we're going to have the ESG plus T fireside chat with Molly Treese and Six Katawada. They're going to talk about how to make the most out of the roundtable experience. This really builds to, we get a lot of data, we learn a lot of information. Then Tucker reminds us that we're about to talk about our brand, right? In a way, we're going to meet new people in these roundtables, and we're going to talk about what we do and find out what they do. And so it's going to be an opportunity to put what he just covered to use, but to help us figure out like how to get the most out of these roundtable experiences. Molly Treese and Six are going to come up here. And Molly is the Chief Legal Officer for Teradata and member of the executive leadership team. She's all about ethics and compliance. Hi, Molly. Nice to see you. And Six is the director of Avanade. She's a leader in early startups and leading organizations through rapid growth stages. I can't wait to hear this. This is going to be incredible. All right, first, before you do it, what was surprising in your career? What surprised you? What was out of the blue? Molly, you first. Nope, mic's not on. Try that again. Okay, good. That helps. Six, you first.
Sure. I really thought when I was younger, disclosure meant authenticity. I think as I got older, I recognized that there are places where you should be disclosing information, and work is probably not one of them. And disclosure is not authenticity. And I think a lot of people confuse one for the other. And I had to learn that later in life.
Yeah, fantastic. What a great tip. Okay, Molly.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, great. I was joking. I said, "What you said? What's the biggest surprise?" And I said that I made it to the C-suite. You never know. So no, for me, it really is that perseverance, hard work, staying true to yourself actually is a journey worth going on, and you never know where you're going to end up. And you believe in yourself, anything is possible.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Thank you so much. Okay, I can't wait to hear. Everybody get your notepad. Let's go.
Okay, great. I'm going to kick it off here. And it's always very interesting to be a speaker after an expert in speaking. Tucker, I loved your comments, and I very much encourage everybody on this forum to do the work around defining your purpose. I have done that, and I found it to be super rewarding and not a big surprise. So much of my purpose is tied up into ESG. So a little bit about me. My name is Molly Treese. I am the Chief Legal Officer and the ESG Executive Sponsor at Teradata Corporation. We're a data and analytics company, a public company in 32 countries. I also like to put on my non-official resume, I am the founder of ESG at Teradata. And it's an interesting story and part of my journey that I want to share with you all today, which is I came up through the company as the Chief Corporate and Governance Counsel. And actually, my protege, who's now in that role, is part of our breakout sessions. And so I encourage you to meet Angie. But when I was in that role, it was wonderful because I'm a governance guru. I love governance. I love process. I love transparency, disclosure, doing the right thing always. And as you said, ethics and compliance. But I'm also super passionate about the outdoors, the environment. I grew up a camper, a hiker, and other things, but I also am very involved in the community. And what I saw around environmental change was its disparate impact on communities who are not as fortunate as those in developed places and in places where income inequality isn't as disparate. So there was that aspect, and I'm a woman in a technology company, and that's been my career. So very much thinking about DEI all the time. Well, you can't find a better place to have all those passions come together than ESG. And at our company, it's always been part, all those aspects of the company have always been there, thinking about diversity, equity, inclusion, having strong governance, and doing our part around greenhouse gas emission reduction. However, it was ad hoc and it was all over the place with people doing different projects. So my vision was to say, we can do better if we bring together all of those passionate people, those subject matter experts, and we highlight and support those activities and we bring that together in a way that then can move it forward, not only from a individual perspective, but with all of our different stakeholders. And I was engaging with our stakeholders who all care about this topic a lot, particularly with shareholders and with our board, but also hearing from our sales customers we're looking for, and from my friends and our people org around what our employees care about, right? So all of those stakeholders had a passion ESG. So we could and should do better. And so we created this program. And what I wanted to talk to you today a little bit about is two things about creating a program. One is the evolution aspect of it, and moving from a good corporate citizen, which is super important, to moving to an ESG plus T aspect for all of us on this call. I think that's super important. And the other is just a bit of advice about going forward from the ground up versus and just getting started versus having it all figured out. So first, I'll just a couple comments on the evolution aspect of it. So if you think about stewardship, a good corporate citizenship, that has been at the heart of how we thought about, because even our cross-functional group that we pulled together, we called it the Global Corporate Citizenship Council, focused on stewardship. So what are we doing as a company to do better in all these aspects of ESG? And what it's evolved into is that focus on doing our part to create a sustainable technology industry, right? That ESG plus T. And at Teradata, what that means for us is using data and analytics to solve our customers' sustainability problems and challenges, and to help them on their ESG journeys and sustainability. So if their ambition is to get to net zero, how do we help them with our ability to do data and analytics and take complex data to drive more responsible and sustainable business decisions? And what that really means for us is having that, having business use cases. I mean, starting small. It doesn't mean to have to solve, for the universe. It's saying, where and how can we help a specific business need? So for example, we've got a partnership we've just launched with Microsoft and GE Aviation to help create a tool and an ability for pilots to know where and how their flight pattern can use less airline, jet fuel. And that is a real-time decision. When they're powered with that data, they can make a better decision. We've also got a use case we're developing around what we're calling a CO2 calculator, right? So when you're making decisions about business travel, if you travel here or there, and different, or not travel at all, what does that mean for the environment? And empowering people with data is super important. So whatever your company is doing with technology, down into those specific ways that you can use that technology, again, to be more sustainable. The other thing I'll add here is that, as I mentioned, for us, the experience, and it's different for everybody. I don't want to say it's the only way forward, but I think it's really empowering to know that you all can, at your companies, make a difference by pulling together the resources that you have and creating a ground-up ESG program. And by what I mean is taking inventory of everything that's going on within your company. We found pockets of our company where people who are super passionate about the environment, or about diversity, equity, inclusion, or community involvement, et cetera. And it wasn't all known and coordinated and amplified. So for example, we have a committed group of employees who've created a Teradata forest, where we can do offsets by planting trees in the name of Teradata, and employees can do that individually. We've done it as a company by making contributions to that forest to offset some of the travel that we've had. And that was a grassroots thing that was out there, and now we're taking it, pulling it, and doing more with it. beyond the inventory, it's important to bring the people together, right? So who are the people out there that care about these different topics that are under the ESG umbrella, and bring them in a room, and those creative juices get flowing and coordinated in a way that really empowers them and gives them an opportunity to be a leader. And so many of these people are diverse too, and your company. And so you'll see just a great opportunity there to have all of that power of that experience brought together in a really positive way. And I see, Patty, do you have a question?
Now, the reason I'm interjecting is because it's a fireside chat between you and Six. So it's not just all about you. It's got to be about her too. So I want to ask you. So she's talking about, going from a good corporate citizen to GST leader. So for you, really, what's that look like for you, and what's your story of how you got here?
I will say, I think my story is a little bit more personal. So I think, Molly talked about the broader context of how to bring an organization together. For me, I'm originally from Nepal. I moved here when I was 15 years old. I am a very, very extensively traveled across the Himalayas, across, Mont Blanc. And I have seen firsthand the account of what can happen when you're not paying attention to second and third order consequences, especially when it comes to climate change. And because of that, I wanted to do something for, the communities that we can't really see or touch. And in my role right now as Avanade Data and AI lead for the Northeast, I tried to think about what are the skills that I can bring to bear to be able to change the lives of people, that I can't even see or touch, right? So Avanade's real mission is around how do we create genuine human impact? So around that mission, it is around how do I use the skills that I have as a technologist within AI and to really be able to evolve the discussion. So what we do within Avanade is we help clients build a lot of AI models, build a lot of data science models, and we have data scientists in our team. And as you guys may or may not be aware of, data science itself is extremely intensive when it comes to carbon footprint. And that's mostly because these data sets are massive. And we have to be very aware of how we're running these models, how we're deploying these models, how are we training these models. And so today, my job as a data and AI practice lead actually enables me to create more education around building more carbon aware software. So what that means is as you're building the software in that overall SDLC process, software development lifecycle, we really think about, are we using the right renewable sources of energies, right? We're working together with Microsoft to build a lot of open source software to be able to develop more carbon aware software. And our engineers from the most junior level to the most senior level know how to do this today. And we're really creating a lot of awareness and education around this at our clients as well. So this panel is really going to give you guys an opportunity to be able to connect one-on-one on people that are doing meaningful work, and also how they're bringing their passion, their competency, their skills to life in the area of ESG and overall corporate sustainability and governance.
All right, so that's beautiful. So now what we got really were your stories about why that matters to you, what difference it makes, and what your company is doing about it. And so this is really what these conversations are about. So I'll turn it back to you so that you can introduce who's going to be part of that roundtable discussion, and then help people to understand what their objectives are for being in the discussion itself. What should they come in with, and how should they prepare? Okay, back to you.
Yeah, so what I'll say here is that I would encourage you all to be ESG sponges. So as I said, when you're creating an ESG program and you're bringing that effort together in your company, we did that from the ground up by learning a lot about what was going on in other companies and what was going on in the marketplace. And this is such a great opportunity. I wish this kind of forum had been here, that I'd known about it when we were doing that. So if you're interested in all the different aspects of ESG, I think we've got experts who are focused on data and technology, around governance, social, all different aspects of it, and go in and ask questions, learn what they're doing, find out more about best practices and where and how you can get involved at the individual level and at the company level.
Amazing. Yes, absolutely. Everything Molly said, just listen and learn. And there's people from a diverse set of experiences and backgrounds. And really, this is an opportunity for you to truly connect with their mission and purpose and figure out where it aligns with yours as well. And with that, Alyssa, over to you. Is Alyssa taking over? Yes.
I think so.
Thank you so much for that fireside chat. That was a great introduction to our roundtables. So the both of you can go off the screen. Thank you so much for joining. And I think that gave some great inspiration for us to talk about at the roundtables.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, it's my pleasure. So what we're going to do now is we're going to watch a short video on how to use Remo for those who are new to Remo, and then we'll go into how to actually work the roundtables and move around. So we're going to have a quick video here. It's about a minute long.
Hi. Oh, that was fantastic. So you were incredible out there, and I know people loved seeing you out there. And I know it was short, but here's what I'd say. Those of you in the audience, put a +1 in there. Was that great or what? Look, Sherelle, she already wrote, yes, it was great. It was fantastic. I want to remind you, though. So for one thing, Lisa Ann, she's doing governance. Go to her. She's got a lot of things to share. And then also Rusha's doing social. Go see her. She's awesome. All right. So visit her, see what she's up to. And in this one, I want to remind you. So you go to the table. You turn your mic on, camera on right away. If they're talking and the table, you know, this is Remo. And part of Remo is just like if you're in a regular conference. And if the conversation doesn't match what you need, click out, leave, go to another table. And everybody understands that. That's the beauty of Remo. So don't feel like obligated to stay. If it doesn't feel right for you, go to the table where you want to learn more, you get a chance to talk, okay? Because I'm sure you moderators, you all did a great job, but I just want to give permission to people to move around. Okay, all right, are you ready for round 2? Are you leaders, are you ready for round 2?
Let's go. Yeah.
Okay, let's go, let's do it. Everybody, 20 more minutes, let's go. Go see somebody else, woo, woo. Hey, everybody, oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much for being part of this. What were your big takeaways from your conversations that you had? Just share 1 or 2 things. And those of you that were. Yes,
we can. Oh, there you go.
Yay. Somebody kicked me off the stage. I didn't do it. It was a kickoff. All right. So okay. Tell me, what's one takeaway before they kick you off? Moskin.
There was different people from different levels, and I loved it. The only, I don't want to call it issue, the challenges was too short, because we just used to loved each other. We introduce ourselves and then have the discussion. It was so good. I love it. Thank you so much.
Yes, it was so great to have you. Angie, Rusha, what just a takeaway from the conversation? And I want to make sure that people also listening, you put your takeaway in there too from those sessions.
It was amazing. Different backgrounds, like Moskin said. Security and data was on top of mind for a lot of people. Social aspects around how that impacts from an education perspective was on top of mind. Another social aspect was around digital skills and how do we enable people, especially young generation like girls, from a STEM perspective. And I was able to share how we are doing that at Avanade. So hopefully some of the women found that useful. War on talent is real, right? So I think it is up to us to create that new digital workforce.
Yeah, no doubt, it really is. Angie, how about you?
Yeah, we've had a lot of good discussions on the 2 sides of governance, right? Like, how do you run your program, and then what does G stand for in ESG? So really going through that and focusing on culture and how, you know, tone at the top is really necessary to have a program grow and thrive, and how do you then engage the rest of the stakeholders in and outside your organization.
Oh, that's fantastic. Well, thank you so much, all of you. I'll send you back into the metasphere right now so that we can just hear from the audience a little bit. But thank you so much. So just
thank you for having us.
Yeah, come back and see us again soon, because
thank you so much.
It's very valuable, really helpful.